Let's keep talking. So I came to this place. This place we're at is called Irvine in Orange County. After coming here to Orange County, I discovered this area has a lot of Chinese people. A local group organized a brainstorming session. There are tech experts in IT and capital experts here. They organized a group focused on AI era and AI empowerment. I went with a learning mindset. It was a brainstorming coffee meetup. I was truly moved. For a moment, I felt 20 years younger, like I was back in Beijing's Zhongguancun. Or like back in the day in Shenzhen, the feeling was exactly the same. First of all, everyone there was Chinese. They were all young people, all highly qualified, highly educated, and these people were full of passion, really, just overflowing with passion. Anyone born in the 70s was already a fossil. Even the 90s generation felt old. These people were full of passion, full of a drive to explore the most cutting-edge science. I just felt that with all these people gathered together, I thought there's no way America has no future. Not with people like this gathering together. They're gathering in LA, in Silicon Valley, all these young people running brainstorming sessions. It made me feel genuinely ashamed of myself. I've been reflecting on myself as well. Why can't I maintain a youthful mindset? Why have I grown old? When I was as young as they are, if I was 30% confident, I could put in 100% of my effort. But now, even if I'm 100% confident, damn, I can't even bring myself to put in 30% of my effort. This is what aging is. This is Vancouver. This is Canada. It's just aging. It's the same with Japan. But China and the United States, these two countries are truly great countries. They really managed to maintain that kind of vitality. That day, there were about 30-something friends who went, I didn't count exactly, but it was less than 40. Honestly, it really made me feel like I learned a lot. Lao Wang, come out of retirement again. If I do, I'll still focus mainly on strategy and ideas rather than hands-on work. Now, I can fully understand what it was like back when I was in Beijing about 20 years ago, when Pang Xi, Ren Jiqiang, Xu Xiaoping, Xu Menzi, and the others organized that thing at Wangjing Soho, what they called an entrepreneurship event, an innovation incubator. That was about 20 years ago. I get that mentality now. My approach now is to be a mentor, stay strategic, not operational. Why won't I get my hands dirty? Because I don't want to lose the money I earned through luck, by working hard to give it all back. That's my mindset now. Because I don't fucking understand AI at all. The coding, the tech, it's all completely different from what we learned. Even as an old dinosaur, hey, I actually understood it. I really did get it. And I even quickly grasped the key points. So I just said a few words. And after I spoke, and these young ladies went crazy, they surrounded me for photos and autographs. Here's the good news. Out of about 40 IT and capital professionals at the event, 4 to 5 were my loyal followers. 1 in 10. That means I can precisely gauge my audience penetration among the tech and finance elite, about 10% coverage. That's where our community stands overseas right now. Silicon Valley, LA, same ratio. This is the current situation for our community overseas. The proportion is about the same. So now that I've covered my brainstorming experience, let me talk about the physical world. At this brainstorming session, there was a startup focused on empowering the physical world with AI, that is robots, humanoid robots, dog-shaped robots, and even small skateboard-shaped robots are all emerging. They're being designed for warehouses, for the logistics industry, for battlefields, and for firefighting. All of these applications are what they're working on. He showed me something. I knew they were working on this because of things like the Spring Festival Gala, dancing robots, and so on. I was aware of that. But what I didn't know was something else. But what I didn't know well, I knew about those robots that mimic animal bodies, like dog-shaped or human-shaped robots, even sex robots, the ones that can replace wives. And now there are even macho male robots that can replace husbands. I knew all of that, and I know that this is definitely a direction for the future. But what I didn't know, and what this brainstorming session really refreshed for me, is this concept. Tribes of robots are forming. Hey, did you get that? Tribes of robots are forming. I feel extremely honored to be Chinese because more than 50% of the people in the AI industry are Chinese. Even in the United States, 70% of the major AI companies are staffed by Chinese people. So I have a very significant advantage in this regard. Because most of them are from mainland China, I was truly amazed to witness the prototype of a robot tribe emerging. So, what is a robot tribe? It means that among these robots, there is one that acts as the leader. Among these robots, the most advanced one, the one with the strongest computing power, gets designated as the chief. For example, the chief, who has the strongest computing power, will take a walk around the warehouse and record all the coordinates in the warehouse. Then, all the work is no longer assigned by humans, but by the chief robot itself, by the AI itself. It then assigns tasks to the dozens of robots under its management. In other words, I realized that in the future, each of us will probably live within a tribe of machines. In a tribe of robots, my life is very likely to be spent living among a group of robots. There might be dozens of these robots in my home. Some robots are responsible for this, some are responsible for that. There are robots in charge of cooking, robots in charge of driving, and robots in charge of filing taxes. Among all these robots, there is a butler, like a chief, who assigns tasks to all the other robots, instead of me assigning tasks to them. This is what shocked me at the brainstorming. Holy shit, one brain learns something, and instantly, every robot knows it. No need to explain twice. The older models just rank lower in the hierarchy. It's the opposite of humans with people. Older means more powerful. With robots, newer means more powerful. In the future, the robot tribe will coexist with us humans, the human race and the robot race, silicon-based life and carbon-based life, side by side for a long time, in a state of coexistence. So, AI. What kind of robots does China have? Of course, China has robots too. Some contrarians dismiss everything from China. Of course, when it comes to original innovation, China does fall a bit short. The US is way ahead in this area. But China's ability to catch up is definitely second in the world. You won't find a third contender on this planet. So, robots supporting robots, robots designing robots, robots manufacturing robots, this is our future. And this future is not far off at all. The pace of iteration is extremely fast. Now that AI and robots have truly emerged, and we still haven't reacted, this is the real challenge we are facing right now. The era of AI and robots has already arrived. None of us are prepared yet, except the people at frontier companies in Silicon Valley, LA, Shenzhen, or Hangzhou. Only these people have realized what's happening. Most Chinese people and most Americans are not in the right mindset yet. That's exactly why we're going to get hit. And I suddenly realized a problem. Everyone knows that I work in finance, and my predictions are always very accurate. But all my longtime viewers, my old audience, has noticed that I actually got the macro trend of the US stock market wrong. I said 35,000 was the ceiling, it should pull back. Instead, it's heading toward 50,000. Why did it blow past 35,000? Through this brainstorming session from the past couple of days, I suddenly realized the answer. Now I want to share it with everyone. Things I didn't know. The AI robot. In other words, in my world, I could see the future. Whether it's Tesla or whatever, robotaxi, AI, powering a car. The car becomes what they call a cybercab. It lives at your home, serving you. You buy a car, but only use it maybe 2 hours a day. When you don't need it, it's just sitting in the office garage while you work, or in your home garage while you sleep. The car will drive itself out to pick up rides, basically running its own Uber. After finishing its work and earning money for you, it cleans itself thoroughly, recharges its battery fully, and then parks itself back in your garage, waiting for you to use it again the next day. This is the transformation coming to the automotive industry in the future. In other words, what kind of situation will it become? The emergence of AI and robotic cars means that our human society will no longer need so many cars. There won't be a need for every household to buy cars, or for each family to own 2 or 3 vehicles. Right now, all the cars are parked on the roads and in parking lots, just sitting there not being used. In the future, this kind of idle car ownership will no longer be necessary. In the future, since all cars will be AI powered and interconnected, cars won't just sit idle in garages when they're not in use, they'll always be on the move. In the society of the future, 100 years from now, there will hardly be any cars in garages. Cars should only exist for 4 reasons: waiting for their owner, charging, self-cleaning, or being on the road. There will never again be long periods where cars are just parked in lots or garages. In other words, in the future, a large number of parking lots and garages will be repurposed for other human uses. In other words, AI cars will bring about such concrete changes to our human society, but we haven't realized it yet. We will soon understand that future society won't need so many cars, and the efficiency of cars will increase dramatically. So, reasoning backwards, let me reverse engineer this. What about the money in the stock market? What if there are so many robots trading stocks in the stock market? In the past, it was fund managers trading stocks. Fund managers would watch the market during work hours and go to sleep after work. In the future, robots will trade stocks on their behalf. Fund managers might get distracted, they fight with their wives, flirt with their secretaries, take vacations, but robots won't. With the current level of AI computing power, these so-called self-monitoring AIs, automated trading software like DeepSeek or quant firms like Quanfeng, as these things continue to mature, right now they're monopolized by a handful of small companies, these so-called unicorns. But once they become widespread, have you ever thought about it? Everyone trading stocks will use AI. Everyone will use robots to monitor the market and develop strategies for themselves. So, in other words, in the past, an individual trading stocks might only need to work 2 hours or even just 1 hour a day. But in the future, for 24 hours a day, a person could have countless robots trading stocks on their behalf. They never get tired, never have emotions, never lose money, and then go jump off a building, say, being clear-headed for the first 5 minutes, and then confused for the next 5. That kind of situation just won't happen. So what does that mean? What happens is that due to the evolution and entry of AI robots into the market, in other words, the amount of money remains the same, but the efficiency with which that money is used increases dramatically. It's just like robotaxi replacing humans in driving. For example, there might still be $10 trillion in this market. But the results produced by these $10 trillion when operated by humans versus when operated by AI robots are completely different. In other words, the reason why the US stock market hasn't fallen is because it's no longer being operated by humans. That is to say, the current bull market in the US stock market is caused by AI robots. Even though there hasn't been an increase in the amount of money, the efficiency of that money has increased dramatically. A 10-fold or 100-fold increase in efficiency is equivalent to having 10 or 100 times more money. So what we keep seeing is a continuous bull market, a bull market that just won't fall, and then another bull market. Why? No money was printed, but increased efficiency has the same effect as having more money. Alright, so is our future world really going to be this wonderful? Holy shit, it never goes down. In the past, a normal correction was 20%, but in the future, a normal correction might just be 3% or 5%, and that's it. Because with every iteration of robots, every iteration of AI, it brings even higher efficiency. Is that really the case?